Have you ever seen a project stall because the right people or equipment were simply not available? It is incredibly frustrating, and it happens more often than you would think. Ignoring resource planning is a guaranteed way to introduce delays, cost overruns, and immense stress for your team. But here's the good news. Mastering resource planning means you can proactively prevent these headaches. In this lecture, you will learn the fundamental steps to ensure your project has exactly what it needs when it needs it, setting you up for smooth execution and exam success. Resource planning is about identifying and documenting project resource requirements and how to acquire, manage, and release them. This includes both human resources, like your project team members, and physical resources, such as equipment, materials, supplies, and facilities. The goal is to ensure you have the correct type and quantity of resources to complete the project work efficiently. Many students think resource planning is just about people, but remember, the Project Management Body of Knowledge, or PMBOK, defines resources much more broadly. A core output of this planning process is the Resource Management Plan. This plan details how project resources will be categorized, allocated, managed, and released. It covers roles and responsibilities, project organization charts, and even team acquisition and development strategies. Think of it as your blueprint for resource stewardship throughout the project lifecycle. This document is absolutely critical for establishing clear expectations and avoiding future conflicts. Building on this, you will also determine specific resource requirements. This means identifying the types and quantities of resources needed for each work package or activity. For example, you might need 2 senior software engineers, 1 specific testing rig, and 100 units of a particular raw material. To organize these requirements effectively, you create a Resource Breakdown Structure, or RBS. The Resource Breakdown Structure is a hierarchical representation of resources by category and type. It helps you manage and track resources at various levels of detail, much like a work breakdown structure, organizes work. This is a common exam area, so pay close attention to this distinction. Imagine you are Sarah, a project manager leading a new product launch. Her team has identified the need for a specialist marketing analyst for a critical 3-month period. However, the corporate marketing department, which houses this analyst, has just announced a hiring freeze. Sarah is now facing a resource constraint. Her initial resource management plan assumed easy access to internal staff. Now, she needs to decide how to proceed. Should she delay the launch, try to outsource, or reassign an existing team member with less experience? Sarah reviews her resource management plan and the project schedule. Delaying the launch would incur significant market opportunity costs. Outsourcing would add unexpected budget expenses. Reassigning an existing team member, while tempting for cost savings, would introduce a high risk of quality issues and rework due to their lack of specialized experience. What Sarah decides is to go back to the marketing department and propose a temporary, part-time secondment of the analyst, highlighting the project's strategic importance and offering a clear handoff plan. This solution leverages the internal resource without incurring full external costs or compromising quality. The consequence of this thoughtful approach is maintaining the project schedule and budget, avoiding the pitfalls of a quick, suboptimal decision. Another vital output is the resource calendar. This specifies the working days, shifts, and availability of specific project resources. For example, it might show that a particular expert is only available on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or that a piece of equipment is scheduled for maintenance next month. Having clear resource calendars helps prevent over-allocation and ensures realistic scheduling. Once resources are identified and their availability known, the next step is to acquire them, whether through internal assignments, procurement, or contracting. A common mistake in resource planning is failing to differentiate between resource availability and resource allocation. Availability means a resource could be used, while allocation means a resource is assigned to specific tasks. You might have an available resource, but if they are not properly allocated, your project will still suffer. Also, remember that resource planning is an iterative process. Resource requirements can change as the project progresses, necessitating updates to your plans and calendars. Do not treat it as a one-and-done activity. Now that you have a solid understanding of how to plan for your project's human and physical resources, you can see why effectively communicating these plans is paramount. Without clear communication, even the best resource plan will fail. In the upcoming lecture, the Communications Planning Basics section, you will discover how to identify your stakeholders' communication needs and craft a comprehensive plan to ensure everyone is always on the same page regarding your project's progress and resource status. You have just equipped yourself with the foundational knowledge to master resource planning. This is not just theoretical, it is about real-world project success and passing your Certified Associate in Project Management, or CAPM, exam with confidence. Keep this structured, methodical approach in mind as you move forward. You are building a powerful toolkit, one lecture at a time.